It's an HBS tradition for the first year students to take over Cape Cod for Labor Day weekend. At this point in our MBA journey, we've just finished orientation and no one really has friends yet. So, what's the point of traveling and why would I want to go on a trip with strangers? As I show you how my trip went, I also want to talk about some caveats about how to keep your sanity and finances in check while planning a trip with strangers and what the opportunity cost of MBA travel is. After a hard week of orientation, no, that's not sarcastic, it feels only fitting to drive in the dark through a thunderstorm to get to Cape Cod. Thankfully, the next day is beautiful. It really feels like we came out of a storm, both figuratively and literally. We hit the beach and the water is beautiful. We see so many signs of wildlife. Galveston really needs to get it together. We walked to lunch, and of course, the lobster is spectacular. I've had lobster before, but the clam chowder here is unbelievable. After returning home to shower and rest, a few of us go into town to explore. The other half of our house went to the class party. Okay, so while I show you some of the shops, I'll tell you about how HBS students plan this whole trip thing. So, like I mentioned before, it's a tradition. So, the second year students kind of prompt the incoming students to start planning. And note that all the planning happens before most of us even move to Boston for school. A few students volunteer to be house captains, and these house captains are responsible for booking the house, paying up front, and setting the vibe and plan for the weekend for their house. All these houses are then compiled into a spreadsheet, and you literally have to message the house captains to be added to their house. Unsurprisingly, some of the more fun houses get filled first, and there are some leftover houses. So that's the gist. All of this is very overwhelming as people are dealing with moving logistics and trying to balance major FOMO with real life. I thought the spreadsheet was way too stressful, so I put it off. Luckily, someone reached out to me personally, telling me he booked a house and would like me and my husband to join. I've never met this guy, but I had one exchange over Slack with him. I simply connected him to an engineer friend to see if they could collaborate. So that was my only touch point, and it was neutral at best. However, most people joined houses with complete strangers, and of course, their experiences range from terrible to alright. I've heard some wild stories, but HBS honors the Chatham House rules, so that's all I'll say. But this is how you stay out of trouble and out of drama with strangers, especially if finances are involved. Number one, make sure you get the receipts. Financial transparency is very important, and a lack of transparency can make things muddy and make other people feel taken advantage of, even if the calculations are correct. Number two, if your gut tells you there are red flags, there are red flags. Oftentimes, us girls like to give the benefit of the doubt. However, listen to your gut. If it smells fishy, it isn't a new problem. There's definitely something deeper, and you do not have to be involved. Number three, don't act out of desperation. Desperation oftentimes clouds judgment. Don't lock yourself into something you aren't sure of. It's wise to have a backup plan if your boundaries are crossed and your expectations aren't met. But do know that if everyone is crossing your boundaries or failing to meet your expectations, you are the problem. The good news is that good people attract other good people. Because at least I knew my house captain was a good person and my house was full of good people too. The first night we cooked together, we made creamy mushroom pasta with steak, and in the morning I made breakfast for the house. The plan for the second day was to go to Martha's Vineyard. Disappointingly, there are no vineyards there. It's named after the brush and vines that were native to the island. We explored the beach, got some coffee from allegedly the best spot in town, and took the bus south to Edgerton to avoid the crowds. It might seem obvious, but I learned that the brand Vineyard Vines originated from Martha's Vineyard. We visited the flagship store, and to my surprise, many things were on sale. I learned that it's a socialite tradition to stop wearing white after Labor Day until Memorial Day, so that's why all the white apparel seemed to be discounted. I guess that works in the Northeast where it gets cold soon, but in the South it's still blazing hot, so the most optimal color to wear is still white. Anyway, more little shops, so this is the perfect time to talk about the opportunity cost of traveling. So obviously there's FOMO, and I'll let you know that the term FOMO was first coined and popularized at Harvard Business School in 2004. So the FOMO here is real. So the point of business school is to meet people who will be your colleagues and allies for the rest of your career and hopefully friends for your whole life. There are 950 students and it's nearly impossible to meet everyone. So the point of trips is to meet and bond with people outside your normal social circles and section. If you do it well, you'll end up with friends and appreciation for people. The opportunity cost of going on trips is self care and rest. The entire program is designed so you cannot physically, mentally, and emotionally do everything. I know I will need to say no to a lot of things in order to prioritize what I deem worthy of my time. And on the flip side, the opportunity cost of not going on trips is harder to measure because it's qualitative based on how the relationships you formed in this crucible, called the full time MBA, hold up after graduation. Needless to say, the relationships are extremely important because relationships with other people are one of the only things that AI can't replicate. Over the course of this trip, we helped international students make and enjoy their first s'mores. We talked about the education systems abroad and gained insight into how we are all very different, but we are all here in the same program at the very same moment to enjoy each other's company and learn as much as we can. It's these moments that make the cost of travel worth it. Everyone is invested in building friendships, being present, and looking for opportunities to lift each other up.